So, job listings indicate that Microsoft is indeed hiring for a brand new team in California to build AAA Xbox games. Oh man, could it finally be happening? Microsoft expanding their first party lineup? It seems so, and we're going to talk about all that stuff right now in this video. What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And Microsoft has been under a ton of pressure and scrutiny recently with the fact that they don't have that many first-party studios, and their lack of exclusives kind of have made people say, hey, 2017 wasn't very good, 2018 seems to be a bit better, but not really. And it always kind of seems to me, at least, that Phil Spencer always has to answer this question on Twitter whenever he does Twitter question and answers about building the first party. He's talked about that previously. We haven't really seen any new studio being formed. We've seen them add more developers to Rare and 343 in the Coalition, which is great, building up those studios to potentially maybe work on multiple projects at a time instead of just one project at a time. But if you recall, last month they hired Daryl Gallagher, and they said they would give us more information about what exactly he is doing at Microsoft. He was put on the Microsoft Studios executive leadership team. I theorized that he was going to be building a brand new first-party studio somewhere, and it seems like that is the case. So this job listing, which has been taken down, but of course the internet never forgets, expresses the need for an executive producer responsible for building and fostering a game development studio. The listing calls for someone with experience shipping quadruple A games, that's right, quadruple A games, and also experience in understanding the process of creating a new IP. So everything that the listing calls for is it's going to be a brand new IP, and it's going to be a quadruple A game. Now, the listing has been taken down, but of course, you can still see everything that they were asking for. They're asking for an executive producer or lead producer, and one of the bullet points in here says, hire and grow internal studio talent to build teams and culture, utilize location in Southern California to build an ecosystem of contract and external employees for production scalability. And their responsibilities will include working with studio management, developers, and key stakeholders in the creation of the product vision to help build and a new franchise, provide day-to-day management and leadership production team while tracking game development with internal, external studios, help build and maintain the project P&L, looking to optimize costs and efficiencies throughout development and providing analysis and reporting to senior leadership, ensure the title maintains or exceeds creative and technical objectives with each milestone and release, and some of the qualifications, which are pretty steep: 10 years of experience in the gaming industry, 4 years of experience at lead executive producer or above, bachelor's degree, experience shipping high-quality titles at quadruple A standards, so not triple A, experience managing internal teams and external development studios across the world, and a knowledge and understanding of the process of building new IP, right? Now, the interesting thing here is that the studio is going to be based in Santa Monica. Now, Daryl Gallagher, who was hired recently and I theorized was going to be building a studio, previously worked in Activision at Santa Monica. So you can kind of see things coming together. And we're supposed to be hearing what exactly he is working on at E3. So whatever this new studio is, that it's at Santa Monica where he used to work, it seems to at least kind of be confirmed that he is going to be involved. So a quadruple A quality title with a new IP, it seems to be the outline here for what Microsoft is looking for. And hey, people have said, I've said it too. I would love to see a new studio be created from the ground up, build a new IP, and it seems to be that this is the situation. Of course, the only really bad thing to come out of this is essentially whatever they do build, whatever new IP they want to build, or whether it's a different game or something, is going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time for, number one, this studio to be built up and running at 100%. So if they're starting to build it now in 2018, probably won't be at full capacity until 2019, which means you're probably looking at 2021, 2022 for a brand new game, maybe even longer. See, that's the only bad situation about Microsoft essentially doing all this stuff now and not earlier in the generation or at the end of last generation, like kind of how maybe Sony did it. Because while it's great to see that this is the first steps of Phil proving what he's saying about building first party, doing new IPs, and making single player and all that stuff matter that he's talked about in the past, and people have questioned whether he's actually being truthful or being very PR, right? The problem is all this stuff takes a ton of time. God of War took 5 years. Horizon Zero Dawn took 4 years. And whatever they build here, whatever they want to build, that's the problem. It's going to take a long time. And the question is, does Microsoft have the time, that sort of time, to build it? And I think, honestly, that they do have the time. I think as long as people see that they're doing exactly what they've said they do, as long as people see that they're living up to the promises that they laid out, like, here are the games coming, we're building new studios, we're listening to you, we're trying to do everything we possibly can, things take time, and this is exactly that, then I think people will be mostly forgiving of the fact that, it's going to take a significant amount of time to get this done, as long as they're doing it. The problem has been lately that nobody knows what Microsoft has been up to. It's hard to kind of gauge the games that they're going to be coming out with, or the new IP they're going to build, or what the heck is even coming at the end of 2018 when you just don't know. When you contrast and compare it to Sony and Nintendo, the fans have a good idea of what to expect from those two companies, even into the future. So there's always something to kind of embrace, even if you don't like what's currently available. The problem with Xbox lately is as they don't want to show much outside of 17 months. So once these new games or the Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, and all that stuff run their course, it's like you just don't know. And the not knowing gnaws at some people. So if Microsoft comes out at E3, maybe shows a Fable, maybe shows some of Perfect Dark, Daryl Gallagher takes the stage, talks about, hey, I helped build the reboot for Tomb Raider. I was head of Crystal Dynamics. I helped run all these games on the production side of it at Square Enix. I went to Activision and did all this stuff, and now I'm taking my my expertise here to Xbox to create the brand new studio to help build this stuff, new AAA, quadruple A IP, but it's going to take some time, and here's my plans. I think people will be forgiving of the fact of this. Maybe some people won't, but I think as long as they're doing exactly what they're saying and there is some sort of roadmap, I think people will embrace it. Now, of course, as always, I want to know what you guys think about this situation. Are you happy, finally, that it seems Microsoft is actually building a brand new studio, with quadruple A productions and a new IP? Is it one of those things where is it too late, or is it better late than never? I'm in the camp here where it's better late than never, because they can probably produce something that is incredible if they have the money and they want to go flash it around, hire some great, creative minds at all these different studios, because there are so many people you could hire from all these different places. You can go to Naughty Dog, you can go to Guerrilla, you can go to Rockstar, you can go to Rocksteady. There's so many different developers that are probably available to get if you kind of go out there and put your foot down and offer a ton of money to get this brand new studio up. You can get it running, and you can get people excited about what the future of Xbox holds. And I hope that's what they do at this year's E3, seeing this job listing, of course. Kind of gets me a little bit excited, but then, of course, I have to temper my expectations a tad bit, because I know we're about 5 years away from seeing anything that this studio would make. But still, it's a step in the right direction. So let me know what you think about all this stuff. Are you excited? Are you not? What new IP would you like to see them build? A first-person shooter? A third-person shooter? Something completely different? Well, obviously not a racer, but that's kind of what I'm interested in seeing. What type of game would they build? And I want to know what you think they're going to build in the comments below. And as always, I really appreciate everybody taking their time out of their day to come watch this video. I know I haven't posted too many videos recently, but we're going to get back into it. So hit that like button, share this out on Twitter, hit the sub button if you haven't subbed to the channel already. Hit the notification bell if you always want to be notified when I do drop more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you again in the next video. Later, guys.